When life gives you lemons, there's two things you could do. You could either be bitter and sour, or you could take those lemons and use them as ingredients for something else. And in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Found a nice little peaceful spot here. So what I like to talk about is something that pretty much every single person can relate to, whether you're young or old, no matter where you live, what you do for a living, where you went to school, anything at all. Everyone can relate to this, that life at unexpected times can throw you a curveball or give you lemons, as the term goes. And what that means is that something unfortunate can happen, whether it's minuscule or something much larger. Now, there's a select few people out there who can handle that without any issues at all. They can just brush it off and be like, yeah, it's just part of life, just keep moving on. And there's others who struggle and have difficulties and often dwell on those lemons and those curveballs for far too long, and it affects their everyday living. So I've learned, and this is just my own past experiences and from learning and growing as an individual, and of course just my opinion alone, but I've learned that you can often turn those lemons into more than just lemonade. You could turn it into something either completely different or a whole lot better. I'm going to give you some examples, and hopefully you can relate and understand what I'm getting to when I refer to these. But for example, if you go to a restaurant and you always go there for your favorite dish, well, that particular time that you go, they're sold out of it, no more. Say you're at an amusement park and you have one more ride that you want to do. It's your favorite ride at the whole park, but you don't have enough tickets and you don't have any more money to buy tickets to ride that ride. Or something a little more serious, you could be at a job and get laid off, get terminated, and all of which, you know, I range them kind of smaller to bigger, can affect your mood, can affect your thinking, your way of thinking. But as I mentioned, there's two things you could do. You could let it make you be bitter and sour and just focus on the negative part of it and be like, oh, you know, I can't believe this happened, so on and so forth. Or you could take those lemons and use them as ingredients. What I mean by that is, when unfortunate things happen, there's a lot of bugs here. When unfortunate things happen, when you get thrown a curveball or served lemons in life, it's actually a great excuse to adapt, to think outside the box, to get creative, for lack of a better term. Because with those three examples I gave you, you go to dinner at your restaurant, your favorite dish is sold out. Well, you have two options. If you're going to be bitter and sour, you could just go home and complain and bitch and moan. Or you could get creative and either try a new dish that you never tried before, or go to a different restaurant that you never tried before and may end up loving that even more. You go to the amusement park to ride that final ride of yours, the favorite ride. You don't have enough tickets, but you have enough tickets for a different ride that you never rode before. So you could try a new ride based on those circumstances. Or maybe, in a weird way, I'm going to start moving, I'm getting attacked by bugs. In a weird way, it was meant to be. That it happened for a reason, that you didn't have enough tickets, because maybe the next ride that you were going to go on, the ride was going to break down. More often than not, there are reasons as to why these things happen. Whether you want to believe that or not, I believe it. But I think things happen for a reason. Now, more often than not, though, you don't know what that reason is, at least not in the beginning. But I could tell you of countless examples later on where I could say, you know what, I'm glad that happened, because if it didn't, I wouldn't be doing this. Or if that happened, I might not be able to do what I want to do. I mean, just random examples. I mean, you can put it in your own substitutions there, but basically, you know, things happen for a reason, and a lot of times later on you find out what those reasons are. Sometimes months or years later. So, with that being said, I just wanted to let you know that, number one, you're not alone, that everyone goes through difficulties, through ups and downs, that everyone gets thrown a curveball and gets served lemons, to put it in a not so conventional way. But that doesn't mean that it's the end, or that it's an excuse not to persevere. It's an excuse to get creative and to move on and to do something different. Look at something in a different way. Give yourself a reason to do something different or brand new. And it doesn't work every single time. There will be times where it is just an unfortunate circumstance. But there's also a lot of times, more often than not, where it does work out in the end. So if you are a person who does struggle with negative, unfortunate circumstances and has a hard time making lemonade or using lemons as ingredients for something new, hopefully my words will be a little bit of an encouragement to let you know that, you know, you can get past things and that you can learn to adapt to those types of situations. I'm a living example of it. I mean, just to give you a prime example, you know, I was working my last job for over 5 years, almost 5 years to the date, doing warehouse work, and it paid the bills. You know, it was a steady job, lots of overtime, but I started getting run down. The schedule, working overnight, the different people they were bringing in, different management, started ruining the job for me, where I didn't enjoy it as much, and I didn't feel like working as hard anymore. So I was getting unhappy, and I felt like, you know, this is an unfortunate circumstance. I don't know what I'm going to do. And that pushed me to take a leap and to go out on my own and work for myself, doing Uber, doing YouTube. And this is over 3 years ago. And looking back on it, it was a really risky, scary decision, because I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know what the outcome was going to be. I didn't know if I was going to have any type of success. Nor did I know if I was going to be able to even pay the bills and help support my family. But looking back on it now, it was the perfect thing to do, and I have no regrets on it. I took those lemons and used them as an ingredient for something new, working for myself. So I think I rambled on enough, but I just wanted to kind of share that with you, because I do know in current times, this past year and a half, it's been really chaotic, really hectic, a lot of sadness, a lot of things that we as an individual can't really control ourselves. But there usually is a shining light, usually is something positive to find out of it, and usually something different to use those lemons for. So I hope these words helped, and if you... Ooh, something jumped and scared me. But yeah, if these words helped and you are going through something, just rest assured that you're not alone. It doesn't last forever, and you have total control of what your next step is going to be. Bitter or sour, or something new and different. The choice is yours. So I'm going to leave you with a nice little view here of this bubbling creek, and like I always say, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.